We're going to start off with Glenn, who's going to be talking us through Coda Brain. After Glenn, we're going to have John come up from Assembled. And then batting cleanup, we got Tim Kenner, who's going to talk through Fin AI Agent. We're going to let everybody go through the demos first. And then we should have even though we went a little over, we should have time at the end for some more questions. But if for some reason we don't get to them, people will stick around for a while. So feel free to grab somebody, ask them questions. There's also a booth in the back for Coda and for Assembled. You can ask them questions there. They have information out. You can also find somebody from Intercom if you want to hear more about our products and what we're doing. So with that, Glenn, you are up.
I'm a bit short of the mark. Hey everyone, you hear me all right? Well, you at the front can hear me. Okay, let me, I know press for time. I'll give you the briefest of intros into who Coda is for those that don't know. So we think of ourselves as the all-in-one work operating system. And there's kind of three main problems that we're trying to solve as a company. It is this data dilemma. Where is the information I need? Who has it? What tool is it in? Across all these different tools, these different tabs that I have to keep working through, what do I do? And how do I make sure we have good processes? How do I know how to do everything that I'm supposed to do for my job? And that's kind of the three solutions that we offer at Coda. So Coda Brain, our newest product that I'll demo in a minute, and you'll get a sense of what that is. Coda Docs is something we've been working on for the last 10 years. It is a document, spreadsheet, app building product that can kind of replace many tools or enhance them. And Coda Solutions, we work with many of the best companies in the world to understand their rituals, the things they do to run successful companies. And we have a gallery full of hundreds of those templates and rituals, many from Intercom as well that you can go see. And so those are the three main things we offer. Let's talk about Coda Brain, though. About a year ago, we started talking with Snowflake, and Christian Kleineman, their EVP of product, was talking about the problems we have with consumer AI and where are we going, where's the enterprise AI. It's amazing that we can talk to an AI system about any moment in history and in time, but what can it do for my company? Why can't it tell me about that? And so that's what we've been working on in partnership with them, and that is what Coda Brain is. So I'll give you a demo of Coda Brain. And so Coda Brain is a product that pulls in all of your company's information. We've been at this integrations game for a long time now, 5 or 6 years, pulling in all your company's data into Coda documents. If the Wi-Fi is working for me. Okay, in the interest of time, oh, no, it's loading. Okay, so I put in a bunch of sources here in my demo account, but we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of packs in here. So I wanted to add Intercom, I wanted to add Linear, anything I want to go add, we probably have an integration for already. And if we don't, you can build one pretty easily. So you set this up, you bring your data into the product, and then you can start asking questions about it. So I could ask, what's our vacation policy? A common question your Slack might be full of, your people team answering, and instead of a human having to go answer it, what if we had a RAG-based system that could go look through all your documentation, all of your products, and answer that? So it thinks about what data source might that come from. It goes and picks an app. It chooses a response or unstructured, and then it answers it and brings me a bunch of citations as well. So here's what our vacation policy is. I can see these different citations. I can click one to verify it. It comes from our wiki, so I can be confident in the answer it's giving. And another way we can be confident is we show you it's working. We show you all the steps our agent took, and you can go change them at will if you don't like what it's done. So what if I had to ask it something about what did Jane Smith say in her exit interview? Because one of the other problems we find with these sort of agents is permissions matter. You don't want your RAG system to go pull documentation it shouldn't have access to and start pulling out. So when I ask about Jane Smith, it pulls from this document I have where her exit interview happened that I have access to, which is great. I get a good answer. I don't have to go digging for all my documents. But if I asked about someone else in the company, what did Maria Williams say in her exit interview? There's a bunch of documentation in my company about Maria Williams, but it doesn't know. It doesn't have access to the exit interview. So it doesn't answer. It just says it can't. It doesn't hallucinate. It doesn't try and make something up that she might have said. It just gives me a straightforward answer. The other thing I like to do with it is to ask a structured question of it. So if I were to ask, show me sales opportunities over $10,000. Now, where's that data stored? It's probably stored in Salesforce. It's probably structured. I'm going to want to pull back a real table. I don't want it to pull in some data and then try and turn it into text, because that's not very helpful to me. So instead, it doesn't. It pulls back this table of data here. So I can see, here's a bunch of real opportunities. Here's the amounts. It is a table. If you've used Coda before, there's loads of things you can do with tables. You can change the view, but you can change all these filters on the fly. So it's set this 10,000 one. Maybe I decide I want it to be more like 200,000. I don't have to ask the LLM. I can just change that in UI. It refreshes it all for me, all pulling from real data in my data set. And one fun one, just because this was all very emergent. We built this agent to be able to look for all the data you brought into Brain. We've been building packs for years. And so one thing I tried on the fly one day was just asking, what are my top tracks? And I had put in Spotify. It figured out, I didn't train it specially to know that Spotify was a tool it could pick from. It is an option. It recognizes tracks. It's probably answered from something on Spotify, and it can go pull from there and give me this nice view of all my top tracks. Not the most business of use cases, but just showing the versatility of an agent well built like this to handle different data sets in both unstructured and structured ways. And then the last thing I could do is take this data into a Coda document, take it into my workflows, do something with it, and not just run the AI agent. I think that's probably good enough for my time, and I'll let John come on. Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. I promise you, the lights going out probably won't happen again, but if it does, I'll blame somebody else. No, thank you, Glenn. That was awesome. John's going to come up. You got it. Okay, here you go.
I know everyone's seeing all of the things I have up. I take a lot of screenshots, so I'll do a really quick demo here. But first, I want to talk through why customer support is really important. It makes or breaks your brand. I pulled this up on Reddit the other day, and Sonos live customer service line so bad, 80-minute wait time. I bailed after 5 minutes, and then I wasted 15 minutes with their help bot. Pretty sad state of affairs. And I think it's really that in this particular case, deflection of an issue where they use the chatbot is not the same as I actually solve the issue, right? Also, having a long wait time for a live agent who, generally has the wrong answer, that's recipe for a disaster. And these are actually the two things that Assemble does is, one, help you make sure that your customer support team has a short wait time, and that also when you get to the customer support agent, that they can give you the right answer. So what we do is it's called workforce management, BPO management, and AI-powered copilot and automation. So workforce management is getting the right person into the right place at the right time, figuring out how many people you need at a particular point in time and putting them there. That's really basic operations research. Maybe not super basic, but takes a lot of work to get that right. Then if you do that right, you don't have to wait 80 minutes. And then the AI-powered copilot, that's how you can get the right answer to the right people. We are trusted by quite a few really, really awesome brands. We're really excited about all the people that we work with, and we generally work with our customers really, really deeply. And shout out to Intercom. I'll do a quick demo of what this looks like. So when we talk about AI, actually the first thing that we try to do is make sure that you're putting AI in the right place and are the most targeted with your AI responses, right? Because you could just drop in all of your knowledge documents, everything, and just hope that it does well. Or you can actually be really specific about it. Take a look at all your tickets, the breakdown of your tickets, and identify where does my time go? Like, where are my agents spending the most time? And so what we'll do first is we'll go identify where you spend the most time, create this breakdown for you. Then we have a workforce management platform that we've built out, which allows you to basically identify, hey, if I tried going and identifying that these three things, two-factor authentication, password reset, and bank setup account for, a combined 30 or 40%, then that should actually update and change the number of people that I need for my support team. So a lot of actually what we build is helping you identify how many people are needed after you can reduce issues with AI. And then I'll just very, very quickly show what it looks like when you've got a ticket online here. This is someone asking about the Slack integration at Assembled. We've got a bunch of things that you can do as an agent. The thing that most people do is help draft a reply, right? And when you go draft a reply, we look into a bunch of different sources and try to give you the best possible answer for an agent. There's a lot of outputs for this, as I talked about. You can either give it to the agent, or you can automatically send this as soon as a ticket comes in, depending on your confidence level and depending on how good you think it is. We pull in past tickets of your top agents, something that is really important for if you don't have a help center article about something. And we separate out your internal and your external sources, because typically most teams have an external source or external sources that are available for everyone else to see. You want to link those, right? But you might not want to link your internal guru articles about your process for how you do something. So that's a really quick demo. We do a lot more things, but just stop by the booth if you want to see more.
Awesome, thank you. And Tim's going to be up next for Intercom. He can do an intro for himself too.
Yeah. I have the pleasure of being the last presentation here today. So thanks everybody for being here. Just give me a moment. I'll start off by saying Sonos does not use Intercom. If anybody was thinking that, we don't want to be associated there. I know who they're using, actually. I won't name names here. But I think the goal that we've been working on for 13 years, sort of, kind of in line with Assembled and to an extent Coda as well. But the goal here is customer service has sucked. We all know this to be the case. Online customer service, let's make it better. How can we do that? And most recently, how can we do that through AI? So I'm Tim. I'm on the sales team here. We had a sales engineer offsite. So you're stuck with me as a non-sales engineer, non-AI expert, but I can stick around after for any questions. Happy to answer what I can. There's been a lot of bold claims. I think this has kind of been the overarching idea behind this this meeting here today is a lot of bold claims in our industry when it comes to AI. A lot of legacy players, a bit of vaporware, if I might even say that. We've been at this for a while now. To me, this is true AI in action. We're transparent with trials. In fact, intercom.com/pricing. If anyone's curious, feel free to get in there, play around with what we have to offer, add some knowledge, and test it out. We're very transparent because we're very confident in the technology. So the Intercom story, like I said, 13 years ago, the problem that we're solving is bad customer service online, slow first response times, bad customer experiences. So now, post ChatGPT with the development of AI, the concept here is AI is the solution. So what you'll see here today is built on GPT-4, built on a bit of what Intercom's built over time. We're typically in a logged in SaaS experience or an e-commerce experience. I thought we'd have something fun today, something cheesy as well. No laughs there, that's okay. Tillamook, if anybody knows the cheese brand, gonna go ahead here and just show you live what our AI bot Fin can do. So you can see, I'll zoom in a bit here. sort of like the legacy kind of version of the choose your own adventure, still something that's a backbone of our technology. In addition, we still utilize our ML as a way to essentially question and answer match for things that need a non-generated answer, but something very specific. Because in this example for Tillamook, their situation is they have, and this is just a demo, but I know that they have a very competitive industry in dairy, like it's a race to the bottom. It's pretty commoditized, but they've built their business on big fans. They have a very tiny consumer relations team. So like the problem is a lot of people want to ask them questions. They're not high value questions, and they don't have the support team to answer them, but they want to cultivate that fan base. So how can, we feel that the way that they can accomplish what they want to do is through AI. So how I built this, believe it or not, if we just do a bit of scrolling here, they have a marketing website that really is not optimized for AI consumption in any sense. The content is not really ready, but I wanted to use this example to show you how easy it is to I literally copied and pasted the URL. We scrolled, we clicked all the URLs automatically in the site, and this is what we came up with. We can also do a help center, like typical Intercom, Zendesk, Salesforce help centers, PDFs, really anything to just take this and create this customer service bot within a matter of minutes. So just starting here, I think I was looking at the whole milk mozzarella. We'll do some fun things like how much fat is in the whole milk mozzarella. So it'll load here in just a second. This is going to be pulling from the GPT-4 connection that we have, and happy to get in a bit more technical after the discussion as well. But when I start with how much fat is in the whole milk mozzarella, not only is it going to provide an answer to me, you can see it's actually listing several different, it's disambiguating to different options, and then we're linking directly to the source content every time. So in this case, talking about the whole milk mozzarella block, I can come here and evaluate that. So I say, okay, cool, I'm really hungry. What can I make with it? And again, there's no clear obvious on their website, hey, this is how much fat is in the whole milk mozzarella, and here's what you can make with it. So as we load here for just a second, we're going to see the possibilities when it comes to the what I can make with it here. And I just want to note as well, we could lead with context. So when it comes to the question alone of what can I make with it, obviously on its own, we see a lot of this with our competitors, a bot couldn't answer that, right? But it's going to list from quite a few articles here, some a rundown of what I could potentially make from this. Now, I'm going to ask another question just to show you again, we're still utilizing the previous gen in some ways when I say do you follow supply chain law? There's going to be certain elements that we want to answer exactly. We don't necessarily want to rely on the models on. And many of the players, our peers in the space, are still utilizing technology like this, where I think it'll match to the answer that I've created, but it's going to be able to say an exact specific answer that I have generated there. And then I just wanted to kind of preview now what's next. So this is basically the conclusion here. Happy to answer questions. Come find me after. But there's a few things. One that we're basically in the process of releasing called Fin Action. So the generative is great, but we're always trying to stay a step ahead. And I just added this because we have this dummy API here that can send dynamic data. But if I were to say something like, when is my check-in at the beach resort? In case there's any Tillamook fans, I hate to tell you that there is no Tillamook beach resort. I've just, for the sake of time, added a dummy API call here to be able to pull in dynamic data, to use the example of how Fin can find and connect with dynamic data. So this should pull in just a minute my check-in time at the beach resort. And then if I were to say something like, have you noted my allergies? Again, I have a whole rundown in the in my fake reservation here. So it'll give me an answer to provide the concept that, like, hopefully they are aware. As this loads here, the last thing I wanted to indicate is that, like, we're focused on AI, but we are the full platform. So you could see the answer pulling in. We're basically coming at this from two angles that we feel are critical. The first is the AI, of course, but the second is keeping that full platform. We see the market getting a bit bifurcated, where it's like AI and a full customer service platform, a ticketing system. Some call it a CRM. I think that's a bit of a misnomer, not like a Salesforce Sales Cloud competitor, but more like a Service Cloud competitor. But in short, we're also threading AI through the platform product as well. Just to give you a quick example, were I to be an agent on the Tillamook team, this is what I would be seeing my cases come in. And then on the right-hand side, I have my co-pilot where I can ask questions, and we can be a bit more liberal with the content that's available to me as an agent, a bit similar to what we were looking at with Assembled early on. So last thing I just wanted to share was a bit of the roadmap and kind of where we're going with this. You can see we're very focused on expanding on the help desk, but also on AI as well. And this is public here, but you can hopefully, see here, a couple of big things on our radar in the future are going to be content readiness. So this is something we're thinking about here. So basically allowing, in this new age of AI, our customers to get an understanding of how ready their content is, because we've noticed there's a lot of variance when it comes to the maturity of, like, the customer service teams when it comes to AI. So that's something coming up for us. Next is going to be tone of voice. We get this feedback a lot. Someone once asked, like, can you have Finn talk like a pirate? Because that's what they wanted to do. Not that scalable, but we've been increasingly working on, like, how can we make Finn, from a tone of voice perspective, something that's going to match many brands. We have 26,000 customers now. So, like, we're in the process of trying to deploy this in a way that's suitable for all. And then the last is guidance. So this is just the ability to, again, like, customer by customer, change how Finn reacts, responds, talks on an account basis. So that's what we're working on now. Really exciting time to be at Intercom. I was a former Intercom customer, which led me to here, and I'm thrilled to be here for nearly 3 years now. A lot of great outcomes with our customers. So again, intercom.com/pricing. You can get the trial there, and any more questions or any thoughts, feel free to come find me. I'll be sticking around a bit. Thanks, everybody.